Christians, and my friend Mr. Randy Chandler here. In your comment, you say that God predestined those who are saved to be conformed to the image of his son. You're wrong, my friend. What the truth is, those whom he predestined, those who are saved and conformed to the image of his son. You've got it backwards, and so you're incorrect. Secondly, you say that God draws us to him by the Holy Spirit, but we can refuse. You are wrong again. Look at these two verses here. In John 6, verse 37, Jesus says, all that the Father gives me will come to me. Not refuse, will come to me. And no one who comes to me, I will by no means cast out. There is no room for refusal here. The fact of the matter is, Jesus says that all that the Father gave him, that's the secret sauce here. All that the Father gave him, because he did not give everyone, the Father did not give all men to Christ. Otherwise, it wouldn't have to say what it says here, that all that the Father gave me. There's a limited number, a finite number of those whom the Father gave to Christ. So that's number one. In verse 644, Jesus, and this corresponds exactly to your last point where you say God draws us to the Holy Spirit by the Holy Spirit, but we can refuse. Well, Jesus says this in verse 44, no one can come to me. He says, first of all, that no one can even come to me. So if you can't come to him, then there's no way for you to refuse anything because you can't come. But he says, no one can come to me unless the Father who sent me draws him. And the word draw literally means to drag. It literally means to drag, giving the impression that it's against the person's will. God is doing it for their betterment. He's doing it because they don't know any better. This is what he's saying. No one can come to me unless the Father who sent me draws him, and I will raise him up that last day. Well, that person who was drawn by the Father cannot refuse if somehow Jesus is going to raise him up the last day. Where's room for their refusal if Jesus guarantees that he will raise those that the Father drew to him? We're going to be raised at the last day. Explain that.